Hello, raise your virtual voice. This one is for the ladies. I want to talk about that low break. This is a trouble spot for us as women, and it's often even more troublesome than what we have labeled the dreaded passaggio. And what I'm talking about today is what happens around middle C. So, do you have a break in your voice around middle C? If so, this video is for you. So first, I want to explain to you what is happening with that break. That break is a sign that your chest voice and your head voice are not cooperating. And so what happens is we get down low enough on the scale and the chest voice becomes a bit of a bully and takes over completely, and the head voice falls out of the equation. And then we get a big break. So that break is registrational, you would say, between your chest voice and your head voice. It is in fact your chest voice grabbing on and your head voice completely letting go. Now, there are times when, let's say, you want to use all chest voice for dramatic effect because it has a very particular sound, right? 100% pure chest. Or maybe you are down on the very bottom of your range, the very last lowest note you can sing, and that maybe perhaps is your only option to sing 100% pure chest voice. We all have a couple of notes like that down at the bottom of our range. But hopefully nobody has the bottom of their range at middle C. And what you want to be able to do around middle C, a little bit below and above middle C, is to sing smoothly through that area of your voice without an audible break. And in order to do that, you need to get your chest voice and your head voice to play nice together. So there are a couple ways of going about fixing this break or smoothing over this break. And the first thing that we're going to talk about today is how do you strengthen your head voice down low so that the chest voice hopefully can't bully it as much. We want your head voice to stand up to your chest voice, so it's a little bit more of a fair fight. So the first thing we're going to do is start up a little higher. We're going to start up here where your chest voice is unlikely to be a bully, and we're going to start on a vowel that encourages a lot of head voice, which is ooh. So we want a nice heady ooh, and we're going to carry this voice down, and the goal is to carry down this head voice as low as we can go without any breaking in a chest voice. We don't want that chest voice to swoop in and grab on at the bottom. We want to strengthen basically that head voice down as low as we can get it without the chest voice activating. So this is the first time we're going to say, hey, head voice, you can be involved all the way down below, believe it or not, below middle C, and we're going to build some strength that way. So starting on an ooh, you can do this many different ways, but for today, let's just do an easy descending triad. And whenever you're working this break, you always want to sing as legato as possible. Anytime you separate notes, you're inviting a separation, you're inviting a break, basically. So you want to connect with the breath, with your legato, with your folds. You want them to be gliding through everything really smoothly so that we encourage a lot of muscular cooperation. So, we're going to keep it nice and light all the way down. So keep this heady sensation as long as you can down the scale. So here we go. Join me. Very light. As the bottom note of this triad gets in range of this low break, be very careful as you go down to that bottom note. Keep it high in your head voice, keep it nice and light. If there's a break, your chest voice has just grabbed on, your head voice has said, see you later, and that's definitely not what we want. So go back up higher and try again if you find that it's breaking, right? So here we do another one. attention to the slide. The slide is key. Ooh, careful here. Now this one is middle C. So be very light and heady in your approach. Stay light. So that's all the way down to an A below middle C. And each time you sense that break happens, you want to go back up and then keep working down. So working from top down is the best way to encourage that head voice. And here's the trick. If you can turn it around and go right back up without a break, then you're on good ground. So for instance, if you were to do that same descending triad and then walk it back up, try that with me. If you can do that without breaking on the way down and without breaking on the way up, now you're really doing great. And so that's the next level of this exercise, is taking the triads down without breaking, keeping it all in head voice, and then walking them back up. Going a little faster than we'll go, but you get the idea, right? So now we're going to start here again, and we're going to do just that. So staying on this ooh, again, building strength in the head voice, encouraging the head voice to be involved on its own down here. So we strengthen the head voice first so it can stand up to its bully and give it a lot of positive encouragement. And then we'll talk about what happens next, right? So here, do this exercise with me, descending triad back up, still on ooh, which is our nice head voice dominant vowel. You'll find around that middle C area, you might really have to be easy and very light on the bottom note so that it doesn't, your chest voice doesn't grab on, right? So just nice and easy. As we go higher, this will probably feel a little easier. Remember to keep your slides or your legato. Good. So now we've strengthened the head voice. Hopefully this is an exercise that's going to take, this is not something, by the way, that you can fix in 10 minutes. So I'm just showing you a path of practicing that will help this over time. But hopefully now we are strengthening up that head voice a little bit. And now we're going to move to a different vowel that's not as head voice dominant. And we're going to see if we can get the chest voice to interact a little bit without being a total bully and taking over completely. And to do that, we're going to use the vowel E, which is a really good mixing vowel for getting both of your registers, your chest and your head voice, to mix together and cooperate. And we're going to put a little Z on the front of it, a Z. Hopefully if you do this, Z, you'll feel a little bit of chest voice buzz, which is how this register gets its name. And so that Z is to encourage the chest voice. But we're going to go up a little higher because we don't want to be in range where the chest voice is used to working on its own. We want it to be in a range where it's going to work with your head voice. So, and now we're going to work in chromatics. How fun is that, right? So very close steps, and we're going to actually scoop with a Z. We're going to scoop up to the very first one. It's going to sound like this. Z. So easy peasy, big scoop. Of course, you never want to scoop in choir, so this is something that you will only do in your solo practicing. So scoop on that Z, and then a nice vibrant E vowel on these three little chromatic notes, and we're hoping to have some chest involvement here up a little higher, but also it should be mixed. This is up way too high. Unless you are Agnes Balza, we are up way too high for you to be doing 100% chest voice on its own. So hopefully you're out of range of that possibility. All right, so here we are on Z. Another big scoop. Z. Big scoop. Z. Good, we're gonna go back up now. Keep that scoop. Z. Z. Last one. Z. Good. So now we have dropped the head voice down, and we're getting it used to working on its own down low. We've tried to involve the chest voice up a little higher, and these are really the two elements that we need to combine these two registers and get them to work smoothly. If you imagine that this is the chest voice and this is the head voice, what we really want is for them to be doing this in your low range. So really it's B flat in the middle of the staff. So a B flat on the staff should be almost 50-50 ratio between chest voice and head voice. So they should look like this. As you go lower, the chest voice gets a little bit dominant, but look, the head voice is still in there. It shouldn't just drop out and give up. It should still stay involved down below middle C. And then you're back to B flat in the middle of the staff here. And then as you go up, it's the head voice that's more dominant all the way up. But look again, the chest voice is still here. It's still hanging in there, hopefully. Still involved, even though it's just very minorly involved as you go up. And then, especially if you're a higher soprano, at some point, you're all head voice on the top to reach those nice fluty high notes. But ideally, in that low, we need both sets of muscles to cooperate. And whenever you have a break, it's always that one set of muscles has given up. So if you start down low and you work up, so let's say you're starting down here and you're doing ah, hear that break? That was my chest voice dropping out because it was getting too high, and my head voice kicked in. And you can hear the difference in color between those two registers, right? I'll do that again. Ah. So the chest voice was there by itself. Too high, it said no thanks. Then the head voice had to come in. So there's no cooperation there. But if I'm mixing them, now there's no break. Now I have a really smooth sound top to bottom, right? Both sets of muscles working together so that there's no awkward break that I'm trying to kind of smooth over right there. Yes? So remember, whenever there's a break, you've lost either your head voice or your chest voice, one of the two. So if you're going from low to high, it's your chest voice has dropped out. That means there wasn't enough head voice on the bottom to help you make that transition. And there was too much chest voice bullying its way up, right? If you're coming down and the break happens on the way down, again, it's your head voice giving up and your chest voice trying to swoop in and take over and bully that head voice out. So hopefully this will help you understand first what's happening with that low break and give you some exercises to work on to help you smooth it over and fix it. So you'll be much happier over that middle C area, not feeling like you have a big break that you're trying to hide or sort of put a little band-aid on when you're singing. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks everyone.